What a disappointing performance by Luka Dončić. That's why it's the title. I know Boston deserves all the credit in the world, and I'll give it to you right here before I go off into Luka. This Celtics team is incredible. They have the most balanced roster. They have a great GM. They have a great coach. There is a young, sharp mind with a kind of a psychopath in him. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, right? But he does give out some incredible quotes. If you're on the internet, you know. If you're not, you're missing out. And look out some of his quotes. Look up some of his quotes. Um, they just play a great system, right? Everyone can defend one on one. They have so many switchable bodies and so many shooters. Just a little bit of everything they need. They once again, just did their thing. Won the 3-point battle so much that it didn't matter. They lost the rebounding and turnover battle for the first time this series. The Mavs actually won 2 of the 3 categories I said were the key, but they won them by a small margin, while the Celtics obviously won the 3-point battle by a lot. And that was the difference in the game in a way. After the Mavs got off to a great start, right? Shout out to Tatum, his best performance in these finals. Actually, I don't think so. Honestly, I think his game one playmaking and game two playmaking were better than what we saw from Tatum today. Even though it was for sure his best scoring game, he still took some really bad shots, especially in the second half where he was 4 of 11, which isn't as bad, but he was 1 of 5 from the field in the fourth quarter. And Jaylen Brown turned it up in the second half. He was sensational. Timely shots from Derek White, Jrue Holiday, Al Horford made some timely plays. Xavier Tillman gave them a spark with Porzingis missing, which was huge. Sam Hauser hitting first half 3-pointers. So just everyone chimed in a bit, and it was the superstar duo in the Jays, right, that sealed it, especially Jaylen Brown with that with those middies in the fourth quarter and some really good defense. But now we get to the title of the video, and it's Luka Dončić. He was a +9 in the game still, and he had 27, 6, and 6 with 3 turnovers, and yet it still felt it was just awful. Defensively, once again, a horrible performance by him, just a weird effort. Yeah, there was a little more effort early on when they were going, right, when they were ahead in the game, but once the game got tight and once again was looking like the Celtics are just too good for these Mavs, he stopped playing much defense and complained more and more to the refs. This was his worst complaining game since game 4 against OKC. And in these finals, it's been like it's shifted back to what we saw in the Clippers and the OKC series, except the margin of error that is here against these Celtics is nowhere near it that it was against the OKC Thunder and against the Clippers, right? OKC just a little too young. The shooters just were knocking down the shots like the Celtics were, especially today. And obviously, the Thunder roster is overall just too young. Not enough experience, even though they still gave Dallas their best shot, right? They could have easily won that series. That was a really, really close series, even though it ended in 6. Uh, it was a really close series, right? And Luka just did too much today, right? And even when they made the comeback 20 points down right in the fourth, and they were right in it, he took some really bad shots when it was a 3-point game, then made some really stupid fouls, complained like a dumbass, and embarrassed themselves in the post presser that they can't, I'm Luka Dončić. They can't foul me out in the finals. Just an embarrassment of a performance from Luka on and off the court, which I'm really disappointed by because I loved the new Luka, which I saw after game 4 in OKC, which I made a video that was probably my most viewed video in a while on this channel. And for whatever reason, maybe it's because he feels that unmatched. Maybe it's because of the more injuries, right? That's why he doesn't move even, that's why he moves even worse than he usually does on defense, right? Everything looks even harder for him. Maybe we're just underselling those injuries. But it's still embarrassing. But maybe we'll hear about surgeries, right? And then it's like, if shit, it's embarrassing. But I mean, without him, like you can't not play him, right? He will play in these finals because that's what he does, unless it's unless he fucking breaks something, which I obviously don't want to happen. I'm just pointing it out, right? That Luka has shown the ability to play through a lot in his career and in these playoffs overall. So it might be even worse than we know, right? He clearly moves poorly, but some of it looks like effort, even, right? Some of it just looks like effort. The closeout sometimes is effort, mental lapses. That's not about injuries, right? It's about your focus, your lock-in, right? Some of the mental lapses on closeouts that him and Kyrie both had today. It's just tough. But at least Kyrie emptied the clip. He gave it his best, even though that last, shot where he tried to recreate 2016, it felt like. Not only did he take it a little too late, right, where it was not a 2-for-1, it was a bad shot overall. So that's tough. Tim Hardaway Jr. got 20 minutes for whatever reason. And I get that you wanted to try him, but you had to pull him. You had to pull him after he missed the second 3-point attempt he had, because that one rimmed out, and that's when I was like, yeah, he's not gonna make shit today. Even though, even if he made shots, I don't think he didn't even make shots, right? But after that rim out, which you're probably seeing or you saw on the screen, I was like, yeah, pull him out. You can have him out there. Maxi Kleber played only 8 minutes. He was awful. Yeah, he's just, yeah. And Dante Exum had a dunk and then didn't touch the floor again. I guess it makes sense also. But I would like to see him or Harden more than Tim Hardaway here. Especially, like I said, after that second Tim Hardaway miss when it rimmed out like that. Shout out to Lively. Shout out to Gafford. Even though Gafford wasn't as impactful, but shout out to Lively. He's a dog. He's awesome. PJ Washington still showed you something, even though not enough for my liking. Derrick Jones Jr. just 15 minutes. Maybe could have tried him a little more, but yeah, he was low. He doesn't match up well with these Celtics offensively at all. So I understand why they went away from him. And yeah, these finals are probably done unless we finally see the first ever 3-0 comeback, which would be quite hilarious for Boston, right? They're right there. They're clearly the better team, and then for whatever reason, they would blow a 3-0 lead after almost doing it last year. It would be one of the funniest moments in NBA history and one of the craziest moments in NBA history, but it feels like that it's just too unmatched. I don't know what would have to happen, like, other than injuries, right? Which, like, I have to repeat, right? We don't want to happen, but unless a crazy collapse from everyone on the Celtics, right? It's not like I think even if Brown and Tatum, like, shrink, they can still beat this Mavericks team even with that, right? If Derek White and Schroeder, like, if everyone shrinks, obviously they can lose 4 games straight, but yeah, that seems about as likely as me. Uh, shit, I don't know, man. Uh, I wanted to make something, some fun pun on me, but I don't have it because I'm perfect. So, shit, my bad, y'all. Can't have shit in these streets. Um, so yeah, the Celtics just are great. Uh, Played with a great intensity, bothered Luka really well. After a really rocky start, Tatum really settled them in the first quarter with some good shots. Uh, Even though he once again started forcing, I just can't. I just can't ever warm up to Tatum like that. Even though I like him as a guy, he's a really good. He's a great player, right? He's just not that guy in my opinion. And to me, this could be for Luka like it was for LeBron in 2007, even though LeBron didn't lose for his lack of effort. Maybe this will be the wake up call for Luka to get it in better shape. There have been the bubble highlights circulating on Twitter where he looks so slimmer, right, so faster. Maybe that's what's gonna be needed, Luka, man. We'll see if he can, commit to that, because that might really be needed. And just like that, finals almost done. At least the WNBA is going on. It's been more entertaining to watch the WNBA than these finals, as a Celtics hater, obviously. Now, these finals have been fine. The game 2, game 3 have been fine, but nothing really, when you're watching it, it just feels like truly an overmatched, lopsided affair, which we could have expected, right? A lot of us picked the Mavs because we just believe Luka is the best player. The Celtics don't have it. So can go out here complain that, that the Celtics are doing what maybe they're supposed to be doing, right? What they've been doing all year. They've just been this dominant team. And there's that, right? Uh, but I still picked them to go to the finals, I'm pretty sure, right? So at least I was right on that side. I picked Denver to beat them, so I was not right on that. But shit. Mm, I don't know, man. This Celtics team is great, no doubt about it, but uh, this is to me more about Luka. Once again, the best player in this series on paper has not been the best player in this series, obviously. And that's why this series is like it is, in my opinion. Not just the overmatch, but that is that. But I mean, the injuries play a role for sure. So it's just tough. But shout out to the Celtics. They've been doing this all year. Shouldn't have underestimated them in these finals. Even though, like I said, I was going with my heart more than with my mind. And that's just sometimes how it goes. And we'll be here on Friday celebrating nothing, because shit, I won't be celebrating the Celtics title, but I'll be celebrating the NBA season ending. And it was a rough one though, but whatever. Be kind to us as always. I'll be back on Friday. Maybe a video in there tomorrow. I don't know. Probably not. If you want to watch me play God of War, you can check out my other channel. And shit, we'll be back on Friday. Love you all. Bye.